Hey guys, welcome to a new video on my channel. Um, I'll be breaking down Brez skills 150K per month with info using 3 steps. Um, and I'll be breaking down how he gets his traffic, how he generates interest, and how he converts these interested leads. So as you guys can see here, he has really such an intricate method, but it can also be broken down into simple ways. As I go through this, I'll be applying this and kind of giving you guys tips in general, like general tips for you guys as well who own brands and people who want to just learn how to do this type of info product growth scaling for other people as well. So how he gets his traffic. So he has a Instagram, his posts, his reels, TikTok, and YouTube. Basically, on his Instagram posts, he kind of just posts his cars, his lifestyle, the usual to get people interested in like how does he, you know, make his money? Like, wow, this guy's really successful. We're really interested like how does he make his money, right? And then you know, he has his reels on YouTube. I mean, his reels and his TikTok are similar, and it's basically the typical like, growth mindset, like, you need to grow, you need to lock in, and then also, how he does it, as well as just it's just kind of like all his content is kind of raw and not really overly edited. It's really authentic. His reels are edited in a way to be optimized for his uh, target audience, which is another thing you guys as social media content creators, brand owners, growth people who have uh, info products need to really research and find niche and like a way to convey your ideas and opinions and lifestyle to your audience. So as you guys can see, he jokes around, S tier gooing location, you see he has his car in the background. He's kind of like showing off and at the same time creating really good content. um, as you guys can see here, he has his links. Um, and yeah, his goal is to basically attract an audience using flashy videos and opinions. He uses this to get people to lock in and tell them it's time to start the grind. Um, so he does this in a way that he feels the know, like, and trust framework, which, as it says here, you need to get the person to know you, to like you, and to trust you. So he basically gets people to know him through his flash videos. It does really well. See, like 179K, it's 100, almost 100K views pretty much every single time. That's a lot of people that you could get interest from. And he gets the trust through his YouTube because this is really just the real side of him. There's people who just have like really good editing skills, really good like content creation skills for Reels and TikTok, but they don't really show like the real side of them. And he uses YouTube to nurture his audience, shows them a raw and unedited side of himself. As you guys can see, it's like 50 minutes, right? Not really too edited. So he uses to educate, but to also show his lifestyles to followers. It's really somewhere, he enjoys, like something he really enjoys. He doesn't, it's like something that he really brings you in a day of life with himself, um, showing how he's enjoying his life, um, showing how his grind, showing what he accomplished, things like that. This is things that people want to see in order to trust you as a creator, as an info product uh, uh, person. So you see these titles, really authentic, nothing like overly clickbait. See, like if I was to see this video, I'm like, whoa, who's this guy, right? This car and stuff, right? An average night with your rich friends, like, who is this guy, right? Click on the video. Want to hear what the cars look like. He's really reaching a target audience. So he also has a little segments where he has, I made a quarter million profit last month. Here's my normal weekend. Really, again, nurtures his audience. So that's his main goal. So here's a little document I have. If you guys are interested, by the way, I'll have this link in the description down below. But basically, he has a platform focus, content strategy. He uses short form content, of course, shows a flashy lifestyle, and then also has his YouTube where he shows a raw unedited side of himself. And this is like just drives the people to have a more deeper understanding of what he does and how he is. So as you can see, he fills out the know, like, and trust framework. Uh, he creates familiarity with consistent content. He builds rapport through relatability and storytelling, and he demonstrates his expertise and credibility with transparency and value. So he uses those long form YouTube strategy. His YouTube isn't really edited compared to his reels. So like on your YouTube, you don't need to focus too much on editing. As you can see here, he's just like raw unedited. And then on his reels, it's more edited, flashy, and things like that. So uh, yeah. So next, he generates his leads. So basically, this is like a little like doc, and he basically fills these out. So this is you need to do market research to see like what are the best ways to really generate leads. And he follows these steps right here. So he kind of has like the promise, as you can see in his like reels and his YouTube, which is success and cars, things like that. And then the problem, which is like, oh, you're not really making money right now, so you need to get to that promised land, right? So the journey of potential clients, problem list, the desired situation. This is all the things that you really need to uh, fill out and kind of think about when you're trying to capture leads, and even when you're making videos. So yeah, as you can see, desired situation. What is the gap? How do they bridge it? These are certain things that you can also explain in your content, so people like know, like, oh wow, this is like one of the touch points, like, oh wow, like I'm saying, like, I'm at this point, but I want to get to here. This guy knows how to bridge that, and they'll be like interested into your content. So yeah, and then high tickets, offer, sales argument, his customer verticals, potential questions, and objections. So basically, on his YouTube, I mean not on his YouTube, on his Instagram, he has these links. Um, it's good. He doesn't have the link directly to his paid training. He has his free training because he knows that majority of people still need to be nurtured, right? Another good thing you could add here is your YouTube as well. So he has his free training. If you wanted to, you could add your YouTube there, and then he has people who already know him and just want to get the direct link to his brand scaling thing. And so here's his free training. Um, as you can see, it's a landing page with a lot of good copy, free training for new freelance scalers. So, how I went from a typical college bro to 6 figures per month as a freelance brand scaler. As you can see here, he's like attracting a certain type of people. Even if they aren't college bros, they kind of like relate to it because, they went from a regular person, with no like real intention in life to 6 figures. So then he has a VSL, continuing to nurture them, show them what he's about to teach them in this free training. And all this is kind of just leading the a client into like, leading the customer into, a little like into the paid community. Oh, this is for that. So after that, uh, he has his little like um information aspect where you fill out your name and your email and your phone number so you can send so that you can get to the training. This is the best way to do it because like after they watch the video and they're interested in the actual training, then they just fill this out. It's all free, right? So this information, you will see it later how it will be used because they collect this information and kind of send out copy. That's why you need copywriters. So zoom out. So he has a Telegram. This is kind of like really good for organization purposes because he has a Telegram where it's meant for his webinars, and it's kind of like a free training, right? So this is perfect because he has the information, adds them to a Telegram group, and then basically every 2 to 5 days he's sending out emails. Um, then also he has this part where he sends you to his paid this is a paid funnel, the VSL right here. and the copy, the title, exact freelance brand scaling blueprint you can use to get brands to pay you thousands every month to run their ads. No prior experience or results. So you see, he's getting his target audience, people who really just want to get from unexperienced to experienced and making that level of money. So full website, as you scroll down on his website, it's like a YouTube video. He shows off like basically testimonials. This is perfect right here. It's really good. You need to have testimonials. I think when you start out, it's not going to be perfect, of course, but you have to have some form of testimonials. And you see, this is a video with some text on it. Uh, and then basically, he does a call to action and has a type form at the bottom. This uh, is basically getting them to the paid aspect. So they fill this in, it's really qualifies the lead, and then there you go up to here, and he has the get one-to-one coaching. This is where he has another funnel actually, where he also sends you out emails every 2 to 5 days, has copywriting. As you can see, it's like really intricate. So um, these emails are really really good at targeting his audience. In these emails, he kind of has like, again, it's raw and authentic. It doesn't look too like bot like people, like you got to think like if you were the customer in the customer's shoes, like would you really click on a email that looks bot like, something like that? It doesn't really look real. So I know the answer is no, right? So this is really authentic. See, you see how Lucas is making 15K per month as a frat bro. Um, as you can see, it's still again touching his audience. He knows his ICP and sends out good copywriting emails to them. And it's always a call to action to his one-on-one training. So here you go. This is where he gets his VSL, and this is basically where again funnels them to here. This is basically where they get led on to the uh, type form. All this is basically different pathways to the type form, which basically is where you get the real leads. So it's kind of like filtering it down until you get to the type form. The information in the type form is basically people who are actually super, super interested. Um, you're not gonna use the information from here to um, get to the one-on-one coaching. You use that information to basically start sending them out emails to nurture them even more, and to the other pathways also to get them to the website, see all this, and then get to Typeform, or get them to through the free webinars, emails, and then this another landing page which you can't really access through social media. It's a special one basically, and then to the Typeform. So it kind of seems into like intricate, but once you really get the flow down, you're organized and all that, it really makes sense. So he kind of follows this right here, all these different touch points, keeps them organized and all that. So uh, we'll refer back to here. So yeah, lead nurturing process. He moves the short form followers to long form content, offers free training, shows the case studies as you saw earlier, and then success stories to nurture leads and increase trust. He has the email follow-ups and direct messaging through Telegram to maintain engagement, as well as the free webinars from time to time. And then basically 7 hours of exposure, 11 interactions, and 4 different platforms to ensure sufficient audience engagement. And then here he goes into his high ticket offer selling. He positioned himself as an authority by sharing earnings and success stories. He has kind of like it's kind of simple. It's a simple funnel with clear call to actions. It's really clear. He calls to action pretty much everywhere. He calls to action on his Instagram uh, directly into them getting interested like in what he does, and then that funnels them into his YouTube. Then after YouTube, people want to be like, oh, you know, I want to get into his one-on-one coaching or the free training first. And then they go through that process, free training, gets their email, sends them out copy, or they go directly to Typeform or to the one-on-one coaching landing page, and then that's where they get to the Typeform. Or there's like the free webinar, the Telegram group, and that's where he kind of holds and he kind of sends out his webinars through there. Um, basically, he directs them to Telegram or other groups to boost engagement. He follows up quickly within 2 hours with sales teams to convert leads into paying customers. He has a really good team around him. When you first start out, it's not going to be that much of a big team, but you need to really optimize it for your level of customers. So when we get to the third, he converts these uh, leads into paying customers. So from there, the setters do everything in the back end. They use the information from the type form to set up the call. They call up all the leads, qualify them, meaning they basically, talk to them, see how much they're willing to pay, because they don't really know exactly how much the cost is. So you kind of need to qualify them, see like if they're really locked in and they can, you don't want to waste, they don't want to waste Brez's time. So they need to make sure you're fully committed. You can, you're financially able to do it, and you have the time for it. So they qualify all the leads and set them up with the call, with the closer. So the reason why Brez's team is really, really good and how he makes all this money is they call up every lead in max 2 hours. They're really, really engaged and locked in on making sure they convert every single lead into a customer. So, they don't wait max 2 hours and they call them up. So after booking the appointment, they make sure the lead watches a VSL. They have a VSL that they send on WhatsApp. Basically, again, as you guys can see, the common theme here is nurturing them in different ways. It's not going to be the same way of nurturing. It's like you're nurturing them from short form to long form, from long form to free training, and then from free training, VSLs, and all that to his one-on-one coaching where he shows success stories. That's, you know, nurturing again. Then they get to setters. Then after the setter, it gets the appointment, and there's a VSL, gets them ready, prepped, and then there's a group with the setter and closer. They ask for confirmation 24 hours before. As you guys can see, a lot of follow-up 24 hours before, 6 hours before, 3 hours before, 1 hour before, and then 5 minutes before. So this is really, really, really great. He's converting a lot of these people because some people are busy, right? So he needs to make sure he reminds people. So he has a great team around him. Just then they have a link to the call. They close. If there's no show or not closed, basically if there's no show, then they do another follow-up, make sure, okay, did you just miss it on purpose, on accident. Then if it's not closed, that means they had a disagreement about something. They keep up with the lead, continue nurturing them with exclusive free value. So sometimes exclusive doesn't really matter. Just, he continues to nurture them. Every customer counts for him. He doesn't want to waste the customer. Make sure he has a great reputation, all that. So he continues to nurture them so that they can actually see the value in what he does. So right here is kind of like a sample Excel spreadsheet on how they keep up with, you know, their progress. So as you guys can see, they have a lot of points. All the KPIs are tracked. So this really makes them efficient, as you can see. This is really good for any of you guys who are watching who have businesses, different types of businesses. It's always good to keep this type of Excel spreadsheet. And basically, he kind of has his revenue, his commission, so all that cash collected, the closed cash collecting, cash collect after fees, calls booked, total calls, live calls, no shows, yes or no's, payment complete, rejection. See, they have like the reasons as to why. So these are the different dates, the names of the people. Such a great template right here. All the different stats, the closing rate, this is a percentage, uh, people needing follow up on certain things. If it's not fully ironed out after the call, they take notes, call notes, different things that they need to make sure that they know about the person or what their needs are, and then the call source, call recording, and their payment methods. So not even, as you guys can see, like they are really, really, really good at making sure the customers are tracked. They don't waste one lead, make sure the customer is fully nurtured and all that. So as you guys can see, this is like the full diagram on what he does and how he makes his money. So people like us and me, uh, we are the ones who kind of set up this flow of traffic to generating leads, and we help people scale their brands by setting these really efficient. It doesn't have to be fully detailed like this, where it's like a lot of follow up, especially for different types of content creators. But you'll build it up like this, kind of like Brez Scales is that. So, yeah. So, a quick summary. Again, if you guys want this, it's linked in the description. So basically, here we are. So he post lead nurturing conversion tactics. After leads opt in, direct them to the Telegram or other groups, boost engagement, optimize the funnel, test multiple funnel angles across platforms, Instagram, YouTube, landing pages. He uses personalized emails and ads to keep the leads engaged and derive conversions. His foundation, he has a lot of market research, as you guys can see. He has a lot of he has a lot of market research, as you guys can see. So he understands his audience, as you guys saw earlier. This right here, this is really good outline from doing your market research. So market research framework: define the promise, problems, and desired outcomes of your audience. He develops unique selling propositions based on these insights and crafts personalized messaging. The frat bros. He also shows like how he kind of makes it relatable to the person as well, and there's a lot of transparency. So for beginners, what we can really learn from Brett Scales, there's like his is really complex, but if you want to really dumb it down for beginners, start with simple funnels that focus on maximizing conversion rates for smaller audiences. Like example, like 2,000 followers. You only need to have a crazy amount of followers to convert a lot of leads. You need to make sure that you have a system rolling from when have like a small amount of followers, which you can build upon like as a really solid foundation when you get more and more followers. So as your audience grows, increase the funnel complexity to meet diverse customer needs, and then keep the sales process simple and transparent. Use minimal editing, clear call to actions, and authentic storytelling to foster connections with the audience. That's really, really the lesson learned from this. Um, I'm really just breaking down Brez scales so you guys can see a example of how this is done. And it's a really perfect example because he makes so much money off of it, and it's clear, transparent, and it's great. So if you guys are interested in this type of work, if you guys have a business, small business, anything that really needs a person to build out this type of processes, landing pages, and needs strategizing for content and maximizing conversion rates, click the link in my bio